Hello and welcome to Emperor's Ratatat, where we try to alchemise stuff and things, energies. And on this channel we mainly do this using runes, astrology and tarot. I do like to try to throw in a bit of philosophy and some poetry as well. Today we're going to be using the Light Seers Tarot deck and the Knights Templar Tarot deck. Both of them I have just gotten from Glastonbury in the UK, if you know where that is. And this is the first time I'm using them. I've given them a little bit of a mix, but I'm just going to separate them up a little bit more. So, thank you for being here. You are appreciated. If you want to go straight to the read, then click on the timestamp below. If not, enjoy the intro. I try to use energies, like many other people, to observe what is around us in the environment and see how I can better be aware of upcoming possibilities. It's like, what is the energy that I'm feeling, what is the energy that other people are feeling, and what is the energy that people are feeling as a whole collective, as a universal. And because of that, it's always nice for me to visit these types of divination to be able to bring forward a perspective that I might not be looking through. If anything else, it helps us to see more. And when you can do that within a cycle, or when I can do that within a cycle, then I find that it's usually present in any situation that I'm in. Alright, so let's have a look at what we've got here. I did say this was the first time I used these cards. That's a slight lie. I mixed them up before and then I shuffled them and I got the Queen of Swords in reverse, and I was like, no, I'm not doing a reading on that, put them away. And I was like, I'll wait until now. So here we go. Let's have a look at what is going on in the universal energy, not just the collective, in the universal energy. Right. Got one popped out. Now, I must say before I turn this over for you, just in case any of you are fearful that I haven't cast any prayers or anything like that, just know that I feel for myself that always protected. It's just a matter of observation for me, but I will say that because that's the case, the one automatic prayer that always is in effect, I guess, is for the good of all, as observed by every individual. Alright, so no harm shall come to anybody is what I wish for. And if you happen to have a bit of evil eye being sent your way, from me, I pray for you that it gets returned to the sender. However, it gets returned to them in a way that they can understand. So in a lesson that they can learn from and grow from, to raise their vibration, so that they may then do the work. Alright? An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. So this card, we've got the Hermit in reverse as the underlying card. This is interesting. Now let's have a look at what cards want to come out now for the foundation in which this had come from. You could call that the past. We'll have to have a look. Got 4 cards. We've got the Page of Cups in the upright, King of Cups in the upright, the Queen of Cups in the upright, and the Chariot. Interesting. Now the Hermit, I know for myself, is usually a time when I go within. I do a lot of introspection. I tend to socially distance myself from people because I've become overwhelmed with situations or life, and I just needed that introspection, right? Just to kind of gain that inner knowledge and regain my grounding, find out where my truth lays and how that lays with other people as well. Now, with it in reverse, I mean, I'll show you the card in the upright to see if, I don't know if the lighting's any good there, to see what you can make from that. Right? But in order for the Hermit to get up to this cliff, it's almost like waiting to become the Fool, to jump off into that new opportunity and the path in which it leads you to get there. With it in reverse, it almost feels like it's now time to come back off of there. That leap of faith, which is the Fool. Instead of it's being a complete leap of faith, it's also going to be supported by the journey in which you get there, that you got there. So the knowledge from the journey which took you into your time of being a hermit is now going to be supporting in you taking that leap of faith, and it's now time that it's going to happen. And it's really quite interesting, and I'll touch on that later. But what I'm referring to is the Mercury and Venus retrograde that's upcoming. I might, at the end of the video, talk a little bit about that. Alright, and we've got the Page of Cups in the upright here. So, the foundation, this isn't necessarily the past. This seems like the supporting cards for why the Hermit is now in reverse, which is nice, because with a Celtic cross, usually, you know, you do the past, present and future, and I like to do those, but it seems like what's coming out right here is literally the present now, right? If we're going to do 3 lines, although it looks like with the space that we've got here today, it's only going to be 2. Anyway, the Page of Cups is usually known as like a message of love. It could be new love, it could be an innocent type of love, but then again it could be a naive love. It's certainly airy fairy in the way that it's floating, you know. At least you can see from these pictures, it's like how pigs, do pigs fly? Can pigs fly? There you go. Now, this could be that you've had a bit of love from yourself. Like in your period of being the Hermit, you've maybe understood, like, I don't know why it came into my head, but what jumped into, and this is what I'm trying to learn to do, is actually speak what I'm hearing at the same time, right? It's like you've learned to love yourself. You've understood where codependencies have been in the past, and like you've been trying to break away from those. And the Hermit in reverse could be that you're trying to come out of that period now. It's like going back out and trying a new cycle that is the complete opposite of the one you have been in, which is difficult because you've never walked that path before. But it comes with it comes with the foundation of love. It comes from that search in the innocence of love, in the search of the love you've always wanted, the love you fought and felt and knew existed when you were innocent. And now, after observing everything you've observed in life, it's now coming back to the point of, I can have that love, that innocent love, after everything I've been through, providing I've done the right amount of work in the Hermit. And that's supported by the Knight of Cups here, right? And you know, this is suggesting to me that somebody has a new arrival of a message of a new love. It's almost like somebody's going to come in to court you. This might be the thing that's pulling you out of that Hermit now, is the fact that messages have been sent and it's time to meet this person. And it's somebody who seems like they have the passion and the emotion, and at the right ratios for you. It's that water, the emotion, but also the fire, deserty landscape. And like being on a beach, but not in the sand that's too dusty that it gets in your sandwiches or your pizza, if you like pizza. I don't know why it jumped in my head. I know I like pizza, right? That you can have a picnic on, but still also not be too wet from the tides coming in and out. Sunset energy, very nice. And what that's doing is bringing in the Queen of Cups. That's that emotional balance. You know, it's being half in and half out of emotion, of water. It's being able to breathe air, which is, you know, one of 3 parts of the makeup of water, right? 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen make water, and it's brilliant because in this picture, if you have a look at this picture, you've got like 2 parts air there to 1 part water. Definitely not drowning. And it comes up halfway up her body. Now, I cannot remember which chakra that's meant to be, right? It's the navel area. But the water is what's crowning her. You've got the, you know, you've got the splash of water as a crown. And the way that she's manipulating this emotion, it's not manipulation. I say that in a way that's probably misunderstood. I'm an engineer and I like my science. So if you were to manipulate something, it's like I'm going to manipulate my hand now by turning it and doing this, right? But it's been able to, like, play with the beauty of the freshness of that water. It's like knowing how to guide that emotion without becoming overwhelmed in fear of drowning. It's really beautiful energy. It's exactly where you want it. And what's happening with that is that there's a fast and sudden passionate change. We've got the Chariot. You know, you've got 1 dark horse and 1 light horse, and there's a guy who's just letting the horses run. The rider, the person who's supposed to be holding the reins on it, isn't. He's trusting the fact that the light and the dark are working in unison together through passion and initiation to guide him where he needs to go, and he's just enjoying the ride. He's going with the flow by the look of it. For me, this is quite an important introspection, I think, because when I know, coming out of a time of hermits, in regards to these things, right, it can be quite daunting. You might even find that people go back into hermit mode as soon as they go to the Knight of Cups, because they haven't necessarily understood how they can balance out that emotional energy to become the Queen of Cups, right? It's not a queen to a king, it's a queen to yourself. And that it doesn't matter if you're like ultimately a masculine or a feminine, because as you probably already know, we're all just a combination of each. And overall, I'm a masculine as I came out of male, but I've certainly got feminine energy, right? It would about me, just as women have masculine energy. Things couldn't be this way otherwise, right? So for me, it feels like this Queen of Cups is to the person themselves, because a queen wouldn't marry a knight, yeah? And it could be that this page, right? This page is the message, is the feeling that comes from a king, or the king to the Queen of Cups, but it's being delivered by a knight, and this knight is posturing to say roses and sunset picnics on the beach, you know. It's so a knight would approach a knight would approach the courts, right? Would approach the king and the queen. Oh, that's right. And if it's the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups, it could mean that the king is off of the chart at the moment. This could be a message. It's because they're not right here in this reading, like in this layout. This could This could indicate a past person coming back, somebody who you're emotionally very, very drawn to, and somebody who is emotionally very, very drawn to you. Not necessarily passionate, like there's more emotion there. And it seems like there is hopes and dreams based on passion that bring about a rapid change in passion. You know, a king on the battlefield would send his knight. I know I would. I'd send my knight to my queen to deliver her a message to say that all's well on the battlefield. Everything's going with the aid over there. Don't worry. Yeah? Or even that I'll be home in time for Christmas. This is really nice. This is really nice. Okay, so let's have a look at the... So I'm going to count that as kind of like the present energy. Yeah, it's the supporting energy for the Hermit. So can we get any information on the supporting of these cards? So let's call on the Page of Cups quickly. What can we see about the Page of Cups? What are you trying to tell us here? Won't be taking those, that's too many. Sorry peeps. Clearly and concisely, 5 of Swords. Okay. By the way, yeah, okay, so we've got 5 of Swords here. Five of Swords was. I don't know why it's eluding me, but this is telling me that there is a transformation. It's like an awakening. After mortal wounds, seeing the light and growing. That's what the card is telling me. I don't know why. I don't often see the 5 of Swords, so it's been a while since that's been in my head. Let's have a little look at what it's got to say here. I know it's of air, so it can be being stuck up in the mind. No, that's cups there, which is water. Second, here we go. That's the one to the oi. 5 of Swords. Conflict, unfair advantage, experiencing loss, the need to build your skills and confidence, hollow victories. So this, because this is a message, no, any cards behind it. If we're looking in terms of a message, this could be a message, and I said from distant or the past, King of Cups, it could be that this message is from a past lover, as opposed to a lover of afar, somebody you had a close emotional bonds to, but there was conflict here. And it seems like with that light, like I say, with that light coming up there, and the person who I seem to be him seeing is it's the way it goes around in a circle with the birds and the light and the blood on the floor. I feel like it is a masculine that's coming into play, right? And it was with a time of conflict of the past. Yeah, experience. I've got an itchy nose as well. You know, somebody that you may have, or they have, or you both have, experienced loss, emotional loss between each other, and like coming from all of the cups that are above and the swords is, it's being able to turn the emotional loss into like a physical thought of what that loss might be, to actually understand what those emotions were. And if you've experienced it as a loss, then it's likely the cause is because you've now been able to observe what it is you have lost within that person, within that relationship, right? And somebody could be reaching out here to express that at the very least. Shall I pull another card on that one? Right. Actually, no, I think that seems alright. What we'll do is, could you please give me between 1 and 3 cards to clarify how this has got anything to do with the Knight of Cups? Got the Magician, only one. So that is a manifestation. It's like the manifestation of this message. And if I read the cards in a couple of different ways, you know, it's like this is being manifested by both parties. If, don't be triggered, if this is somebody that you've had a very hard time with before and you're trying to, you know, and you don't want them back, then I completely get you, and you know, and that's fine, and that's absolutely fine, right? But that doesn't mean you haven't been manifesting them as well, right? Even by negatively thinking about them, you've been keeping them in your energy. So it's inadvertently, it's like opposites attract. So if you're trying to push them away in your mind or in your heart, but they're still in there, right? And they're thinking about you, then the opposites attract. So the manifestation kind of comes together. It doesn't mean what the outcome's going to be, right? It doesn't mean what the outcome's going to be. But know that something is being manifested here. The Magician. Okay? Now, for those of you who are absolutely adamant that they're certain that they don't want to go back to their exes, right? This also has that outcome too. Because like I say, the Page of Cups to the Knight of Cups to the Queen of Cups to the Chariots. In any timeline, this Queen of Cups could be after the approach from the Knight. This is what actually gains that princess of emotions to then gain into the queens, right? To then be a queen. It's like, hang on a second, bam, that was the closure that I needed from this message, or I understand, like, in whichever way that is. And probably the way that you feel like you want that closure, it will be the opposite way that actually gives you the closure. You know, whether that be somebody who's sending you seedy messages, be like, after this period of time, you've been like, oh, hang on a second, no, that's nothing what I want. Or it could be that this person who you've had a conflict with in the past has actually come around and apologised for what they've done, and the way they've apologised is actually indirectly and shown you directly that they've made amends in that way, and that they've actually seen that, and your relationship that you had all together wasn't a waste after all, because you've managed to they managed to learn something. I don't know if you've realised, but I had 3 of these up here, and then at some point it turned to 1 or 2. That's like the Ace of Cups there. We had the 3 of Cups at one point, right? And we've got the 2 of Cups, which is now bringing in the balance. And the Chariot could very well mean, in either way, either that you rapidly are going to reinforce that 5 of Swords energy of gaining that self-confidence in yourself, and knowing within yourself that you made the absolute right decision to walk away, with that Queen of Cups energy, which is going to bring about something beautiful whenever it's ready. Or it could be that fast movement in, like, I can't believe this person has actually done the work that I always wish that they had done for their own good, and they've finally done it, right? So it's like, so there could be a new possibility of something there. Be careful, we don't want any fugazi bullshit going on, do we? No manipulation in the way that people know the word manipulation. There's a shout out to you, Brooklyn. Brooklyn Born Tarot, by the way, you must check her out. She is incredible. If you want a personal read, then I'll definitely go and have a chat with her. She did one for me, and she has done one for my girlfriend, and I tell you what, she's in tune. She's very in tune. I can also provide personal reads too. But yes, go and definitely check out Brooklyn. She's the one to the oi. She's Aries, I'm Libra. There we go. So, Queen of Cups. 1 to 3 cards if you don't mind. Let us clarify to see if I was anywhere near the mark on that emotional balance. And how many have we got here? 2. Okay. We've got the Ace of Wands and we've got the World. So, the Ace of Wands. And underneath, the Sun. 10 of Pentacles on the top. You know what I'm saying now? Yeah? Oh, the 6 of Swords. 7 of Swords. And 8 of Swords. Ooh, interesting. 9 of Swords. And the King of Cups. There he is. There he is. Look. Look. You've got 9 of Swords just before him. If I'm reading this in reverse, right? I know I haven't done this Queen of Cups, but this is supporting it. The 9 of Swords. It's being in your head. You know, sleepless nights. Not what's going on. It's almost like you've been mistreated. It's an absolute hell. To the 8 of Swords. Being trapped in your own mind. Not being able to see your reflection. Also, them not being able to see their reflection. Because they're blind and bound. You know? This is what put you into the hermit mode in the first place. 7 of Swords. Because something deceitful may have been happening there. Some fugazi bullshit. Right? It's, you know, it's secret energy. It's right under the moon. Pisces energy. 6 of Swords. That's that going forward, like on that long journey, you know? Being led over that emotional path. I need to double check that. I could be chatting absolute gumph there, but that's what it looks like. But sure, you're coming. Transitions, helping to arrive at the perfect time, the rite of passage, healing. Yeah, see, those cards were leading us up into this time. And then after this time came the Sun, wasn't it? Yeah. Comes the Sun, right? So that path that leads you, right, moving beyond the trauma and the shadows of the past, leads you into that sunshine. Woohoo! It's the dream. It's shedding light on that fugazi bullshit that was going on in the background, right? And that's what brings. That's what comes, like when you get the Ace of Wands. It's that third eye, proper intuition. Do you know what I mean? Like the tarot starts in the fire, then moves into the water before it goes into the air, and then the pentacles. It's like the Aries energy, I'd say, because I love Aries, right? I love everybody and everything, but even though the Sun really is Leo, apparently, right? We can all argue about that, how we feel, but it's that passion, that ambition, that initiation. It's the will to even want to start something before you even feel the emotion. It's like, bosh! It's the ignition that makes it start. Then you go into the cups, which is the emotional side of things. So once you've got that ambition, once you've got that initiation, that drive to go and do something, it's got to be supported by how you feel. And then when you mix those two together, you use intellect, and you can discern between that initiation and that emotion to then start making everything into the pentacles, which is that which we feel here on earth. That's what we have here on earth. And the ace to me is both 1 and 11. Okay, so it's alpha and omega. What I love about the aces is that the ace in order to become the ace, in order to become 11, it has to have made its way through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then be able to complete 10, which is the start of a new cycle. 11, 1, right? So whether it be a 1 or a 10, it doesn't matter, because the ace knows that cycle so well, it could be any card it wants to in there. And that brings about the world. It's like the knowing of yourself, being able to protect yourself. Can you see the sacred geometry there as well? It's got that sacred geometry. It's knowing the way that your emotion is kind of bound together, and under what situations and circumstances your emotions change. It's like being non-reactive in any situation, always active. Being that queen of your emotion, mastering your emotion, but using that mad intuition in a way, that fire energy, to create and to protect yourself. I do want to double check that, because this is just what I'm feeling off of the cards right now. I don't really know this deck. Yeah? Although I do like it, the cards are lush. This deck, as I said, was from Glastonbury, and my girlfriend's one was from Tintagel. If I'm honest, I wish I had the Tintagel ones, but I appreciate these all the same. Right, so Ace of Cups, new connections, new romantic relationships, friendships, seeds of love and hope, newfound emotions, awakening the heart, joy, positive outcomes, oneness, bliss and creativity. Right, so interestingly, if we look at it from some ways, we've got the message, the magician, and this, which could be that new relationship, right? And it's funny because we've got one card underneath the Page of Cups and one underneath the Knight, and we've got two underneath the Queen. So this could be a transitional point here. It could be that that manifestation is coming down from you too, but it is for that emotional bliss, whether it be with or without that person, that oneness. Whatever comes out from this situation is going to lead you into that self-security, that lack and need of not having a codependent relationship, and probably more correctly an interdependent relationship, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Newfound emotions, again, the Queen of Cups. That newfound emotion can be that rekindling of a love, but even deeper than it was before. But it being deeper doesn't mean you run away with it, because you're the Queen of Emotion, right? It could be that you get the overwhelming but you get that new emotion, yeah? I don't know why I said overwhelming emotion. I guess because in the instance it would be overwhelming when you finally have the confirmation that you need for yourself. That is overwhelming, and I tell you what, it's a nice overwhelming feeling. Provided the Queen balances it out, then it's going to be a good direction to go. Now, if we look at the world, well, the world is the world, right? It's that and everything in it. It's almost like part Empress energy. Do you know what I mean? The Empress. If you were to say the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Wands and the World together, I would say that pretty much makes up quite a lot of the foundation of what an Empress is. You're only missing the swords. You're only missing the swords. Yeah? In order for an Empress to be an Empress, she has to master both the light and shadow side of every queen. And the Empress is definitely the birth of all things, right? I know, especially in some of the tarot I've seen, it's usually the belly, you know, the pentacle in the belly almost, or like the world in the belly. It's beautiful. And creativity that comes from the Ace of Wands, bliss and oneness. Anyway, I digress. The world, completion, joy, wholeness, achievement, happy endings, abundance, success, new levels of consciousness, literally travelling the world. Right. Timeline's coming into my head right now, like, whap, whap, whap. So, like, I don't know if you heard that in the background. It sounded like something was walking through it. Anyway, it could be that message that comes through, you know, using that knowing of yourself. You either accept it or reject it. Either way, it's going to bring you into that completeness. It's going to complete that cycle for you. You're going to move on to something, you know, and whether that be you're going to completely walk away so far that you think, right, you know what, I'm going to go start travelling the world and see what that's all about. Because if I've been wrong about this all my life, and all of a sudden I've confirmed that this was not meant to be for me, and it's time to start learning some new perspectives, go for it. That's all I can say. Yeah, I like this. Okay, and let's give us something on the chariot. I can see that this is getting on a little bit in time, so upside down. Well, not upside down, just back to front. That's not the one. Okay, sorry, 1 to 3 cards for the chariot, please. We've got the Page of Swords and the 6 of Swords coming. Wow. Okay, so is that some kind of bright idea? No, it's some kind of intellectual idea, isn't it? It's some thought. It's like, if we've got the Page of Cups up here with that message of love, we've got a new idea underneath here. But this girl here, remember I said I thought it was a masculine coming in. This is a feminine energy now with this page, and she's reading a message and using her bright ideas, the lightness of her ideas. She's walking over like a space you don't know how deep it is. She is walking on that sort of intelligence, right? And that's leading to the 6 of Swords. It's like that journey through things. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. But if that is a journey, that is somebody travelling, right? That's somebody travelling to different shores, letting go of the past. And passionately too. It's quite scary. But look, she's got the red there, and she's got a suitcase over here. Wherever it leads her, she's going over new tides, new emotional endeavours. There is water. There's a lot of water there, and not much land. Darkness at her back. Going through and just coming out of some cloudy, dark, rainy moments. But the sky is clear. The sky is clear. 6 of Swords. Transitions. Help arriving at the perfect time. You know, rites of passage. Yeah, okay, that would also be it too. That rite of passage. It's the, well, you've got the 5 of Swords on the far left, and then you've got the 6 of Swords on the far right. And the journey in between, that rite of passage card, what brings you to that centre, which is that Queen of Cups, yeah? That Queen of Cups, which underpins that Hermit in reverse coming out of it now. This is beautiful. Alright, I can see time's getting on real quick, so I would like to use, these feel nice, my Knights Templar deck. Going to give it a little bit of a mix, because I mixed the other ones before when I pulled out the Queen of Swords in reverse. I was like, nah, not going to happen. I didn't mix these up, so here we go. Hopefully we won't get too much of a bogus reading on it. You know, I have got to tune my energy into these as well. But that's okay. All things at the right time. This is probably the right time for it, yeah? At the bottom, we've got Justice. Okay. Now, with these cards, I would like to shine in a bit of light on the shadow. What are we looking at here? And if the cards could land approximately where they're meant to design to be, and we're looking at between 3 and 5 cards for the whole thing, please, if that's okay. Thank you. I mean, we'd be happy with just one, but you know, make it easier on me if you can. Oh, 8 of Swords. No's really going for it then. Queen of Swords landing on top of the Ace of Wands. Oh my goodness. Okay, I was going to pull some more then, but I'd like to look at it in this card. I don't know if you've seen these cards before. You know? The massacre of Jerusalem. In the fury of battle, we cannot control our instincts. Okay. So, the shadow in this. And it's underneath the Ace of Wands. Yeah, we can't control our instincts. And remember what the first suit in the tarot is fire, right? Therefore, like, this is basically saying we cannot control what's going to happen here. We can't control the circumstances. We can only control ourselves. And even if it's going to be an overwhelming set of emotions, just know everything is going to be all right. If we've done the work, and we're always doing the work, and the work can never be completed, but if we've been trying to at least, then it will be enough, and that instinct will come into play. But just know that this is the shadow energy supporting this. Be aware of the way we would normally act, right? I say that we normally act, but what I mean is the way we react. It's like, for example, in some of my previous cycles I had in life. Let's say I'd have an argument with somebody, right? But it wasn't a confrontation per se, it was a disagreement. And if I felt that I hadn't been heard, what I would do was I would sulk in a way, and I'd probably be quite passive aggressive. Now I know the reason why I did that, and it's because I'm unable to communicate as well as I'd like to. But regardless, it's unnecessary behaviour. But that's that's a reaction, right? It's when until we're aware of it, yeah, then it's less a reaction and more of a choice. But it's knowing that if I'm going to get into a disagreement with somebody, a loved one for example, and I don't feel I've been heard or my point hasn't come across, knowing that what I'm likely to do next is go into that passive aggressive mode, I can actually choose to observe that and then go, bomb, no, I'm going to do the opposite of what I normally do and go for a quick walk and then come back and go and give them a cuddle, right? It's trying to do that opposite and then starting that new cycle. Right, my nose isn't itching now, but I'm still rubbing it. Could we have any more, please? And please land on the cards. I don't feel like I've massively explained it. Okay, we've got towards a chariot. We've got over to the right, far right, we had Justice in reverse and the Chariot in reverse. Now I wonder if that's because I haven't relayed the right message for the Eight of Swords, because they went off over there. They went off out of sight of you guys. And to that end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the Eight of Swords. Although my nose did stop itching. The Eight of Swords. I'm going to read it from this. Feeling stuck. A time to open your eyes. Unveil the truth. Having more options than you thought. An opportunity to let go of an old story. Yeah, thank you. I wasn't doing that justice. It's told me not to change cards and to go back and make sure I said what was right was right. So everything I said was true, but it wasn't the whole story. Yeah, I've got the itchy nose again. I'd have to look up what itchy nose is. I don't know. Maybe I'm just need to blow it and get the bogies out. Right, so on this Ace of Wands, maybe that intuition is going to be. You're going to need to use that intuition, that not like the ambition part of intuition, to get out of a time of feeling stuck, like to use that fire to see, to open your eyes. It's being brave in this situation, so to speak. It's not quite strength, but it's like it's having that desire to overcome a situation, and knowing that you know, you might get that message and you might turn around and say no, thank you very much. You might have got your confirmation, and since having that confirmation, realised that you've got more options open to you than you thought you did. That could, ringing in my left ear, it could come to that travel as well. Yeah, an opportunity to let go of an old story. This is in the shadow, but just know that it's there. This is almost like saying, you do have that choice to let this go. And if it's in the shadow, either you may be thinking that you don't want to let this go, and in the shadow could be that you should think about it. And unfortunately, the opposite also exists as right for some people, where it's like, I don't know. Yeah, well, no, I'm getting the feeling that this is open your eyes. Doesn't necessarily mean, but opening your eyes can mean to start something completely fresh. Thank you for those two cards and pulling me back. To me, it made sense. Have you got any more cards, please? I mean, I don't really feel like. What is the most likely outcome for all of this? What is the most likely outcome? Is it looking beautiful? Right, okay. We've got the Ten of Swords and the Priestess in the upright. Now, they came in on the shelf, which basically shows both sides of these stories, because I've been saying both parallels. It means that both are true. It's like the possibility of being stabbed in the back here. It could be it could be that even that whatever happens in this situation, someone may feel like they've been stabbed in the back, whether they're with a partner now, or you're with a partner now, or you know, or neither of you are with partners and you get together and it happens again. But at the same time, we've got the High Priestess on the shelf, right, which is that intuition. That's for me, that's Pisces energy. It's like knowing that, you know, just have your faith. Have your faith in whatever it is that you believe in, and you will be looked after. It came out exactly the same facing as the Ten of Swords, so it's in the end of the day, everything is going to be all good. Everything is going to work. It might be a long journey, or it has been a long journey. White bird, dove, white feathers. Have we got any numbers here? Any specific numbers? No, not really. Nothing really jumping out. Can I have one more card to go on top of that outcome? Just to let's be nice here, shall we? Hey, we've got the Devil in reverse. Yeah. And we've got the Empress. The Empress came out in reverse-ish, but I put it out the right way because I could do that. I'm the alchemist. Thank you. Right, but the Devil in reverse is good. I don't think you'd find the Devil... The Devil in reverse is letting go of those addictions. It's letting go of that, some of those like negative passions. It might be like the breaking off of the shit that was underlying in the relationship in the past. Yeah? Whatever negative connotation that was really the foundation of why your relationship was so bad, that can be gone now. Either with or without them. But even your part in that relationship, moving on, you may have been able to heal from that now, which is really beautiful, which is why I want the Empress in the upright. Remember, I did say that the Empress was that Queen of Cups, the World, and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, I said that was really the Empress. All that was missing was air, the swords, and the 10 of them. Okay. This is crazy. This is like that. The whole future part here is on a dime. It's literally spinning around and spinning around. We haven't got any clear outcome. We've got a clear outcome to the sequences. It's like someone's gonna feel they've been stabbed in their back, and they might even feel that intuitively. Right? They might even be able to feel that intuitively. But the result is that the Devil is gonna come out, right? Which could very well leave this Empress in the reverse position. But it could be that whatever Devil has been vanquished, has been gone, will put the Empress in the upright. I don't know why it's trying to shoot out so many. I'm trying to alchemize this, you know that. You think I ever want to see an Empress in reverse? No. Because while this could be somebody else, it also could be you too. Even if you don't resonate. You know, it's that shadow side of us. I'm going to use. So I was using the. I was using the Templars as the shadow side, and I pulled the future, the outcome in the shadow. So let's do it in the lights here, right? Let's give us a chance. Come on. What's not in the shadow here? Come on, give us an outcome, and let it be that. Give us a likely outcome. Thank you very much. Right, landed on the Chariot, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Nice. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. At the end of the day, what did I say about the Ace of Wands, right? It's the beginning and the end. I've got to literally those again. It's the beginning and the end, but this is the Pentacles, so this is the manifestation, the last phase. Fire, water, air, and earth. This is what we see, this is what we feel, this is what's inside of our reality. Yeah? And it's holding it in your hand. It's the cup. It's been able to pull out from all of that's happened. Being able to pull out the good egg. You know, it's that seed. it's the perfect seeds that you can grow from, you know, and I like that. At the end of the day, whatever's going to happen, you're going to learn from it. You're going to learn from it, and it's going to bring you, you know, a new reality, which is nice. I would like another one to go on to that, if that's okay. I like that new reality. That's what I'm getting from it. With the Four of Pentacles. Knowing how to hold back. Knowing how to reserve, knowing how to keep balanced with your with whatever creates your reality. Is that correct? I mean, it's not that it's incorrect, it's just, is it the written meaning? Stability, saving, success, generosity, accepting your worth, being in flow with the universe, feelings of gratitude, helping others in times of need. That goes with the ace. I'm sure that if I had the ace right here in my hand, you know, I'd be pretty grateful for it. Nice and stable. Thank you very much, everybody. This has gone on for 56 minutes now. I will probably speak about the astrology part of this video tomorrow. And by the way, there were